Tempers always seem to flare up when education comes up in Wisconsin's biannual budget debates.
Public education is not failing. You are failing public education.
I would say that education is always the focus. People are very concerned about the quality of education in Wisconsin, both K-12 and at the tech and university level.
But this time around, the discussion isn't just about funding. Holding schools accountable for student achievement is becoming a central issue in the debates. To Assembly Speaker Robin Vos, the issue of funding and accountability are inseparable.
So when I look at schools, that is the single biggest investment taxpayers make in the state of Wisconsin, is making sure we have good education, all the way from K-12 through the university system. And so when we see schools that fail in any district around the state, it should cause a whole lot of outrage for a lot of reasons.
Although many lawmakers agree that schools need to be held accountable, they have yet to rally behind a single unified idea.
Well, big reforms require a lot of effort. And I think that sometimes the legislature has been accustomed to Governor Walker's people putting a package together, and then we basically work on the details as they put out the general framework. This time, Governor Walker basically said letter grades, and that was all, and that's not enough for most of us. So we are forced to kind of work on putting some more meat on the bones, and that's why at the end of the day, it's just taking a long time for us to get 132 people at least up to speed and trying to get a majority to pass it in both chambers.
While getting everyone to agree on the details of the plan could be tricky, for now the debate still hasn't moved past the main point, using letter grades to measure schools' progress. Some public education advocates say it's unfair to hold them to that standard.
The proposed letter grade is being artificially advanced to represent the talent of the school district or the children of the state of Wisconsin. We're among the highest performing in the nation. Wisconsin Manufacturers and Commerce is leading a strategic effort to improve business growth across our state, yet we will be labeling 68% of all public schools in Wisconsin as a C.
While some argue private schools are not held accountable, Vos hopes to hold all schools to the same standard.
We want to say to them, if you're receiving taxpayer money, kids should take a test and know whether or not at the end of the year they have grown through the educational efforts of that teacher. I think that would be a good thing if we had every child showing that they're having growth during the year. My hope is that every school's an A, because then we could declare success and know that we're doing a great job.
And when Vos talks about accountability, he does not shy away from the idea of schools facing consequences for failing their students.
If for some reason you're an F school, which means that your schools would not be improving over the course of that year, we're not going to be punitive. So our goal is to say, let's put more resources in that failing school. So we're going to have a fund that actually provides additional teacher training, more mentoring, more opportunities to help kids succeed. And we're going to give them 2 more years to show that they can help students grow. If after 2 years, students have shown no growth, so once again, they've taken the test, they've been in school, they've now got 2 years of no growth, then we're going to have some kind of a more invasive way, intrusive way to get in to fix the schools. And it might mean that we get rid of the principal and the teachers who don't meet minimum standards. It might mean that we turn them into a charter school. It might mean that we give more open enrollment options for kids to go to another school inside or outside that school district. But ultimately, it's got to be about the kids' success.
Because schools have never been held to that standard before, the issue of accountability can be considered a big policy change. It is still unclear whether the legislature will include it in the final budget bill or if it will become its own separate piece of legislation. With the Joint Committee on Finance starting executive sessions on the budget next month, the answer could very well be known by the end of April. For the MacIver Institute, I'm Bill Osmolsky.